dramatic shift when he was met with a group of hecklers who began chanting "Diaper King" just 2 minutes into his speech. This unexpected turn of events left the former president red-faced and humiliated as his supporters abandoned him in droves. Video footage of the rally shows the shocking display of disrespect towards the former president, leaving many to question the authenticity of the supposed MAGA supporters. Despite the chaos that ensued, Trump attempted to maintain his composure and continue with his speech, but the damage had already been done. The event that was intended to be a triumphant return to the political spotlight turned into a disaster, leaving Trump with a bitter taste in his mouth and the realization that his support may not be as strong as he had hoped. Observers noted a significant change right from the start of Trump's speech in the video that was posted on Thursday, May 23, 2024. Groups of spectators gradually left the event and headed towards a gathering of protesters, attracting the attention of onlookers and media personnel present. Trump, however, remained unfazed by the departure and continued to deliver his speech without acknowledging the exits. This fearlessness is a hallmark of his personality. The speech mainly focused on topics that were already well known, such as criticisms of Vice President Joe Biden's administration, the state of the economy, and his commitment to making America great. The sight of supporters leaving to join protesters was a remarkable deviation from the usual dynamics of rallies. Tensions outside the venue escalated as departing attendees interacted with the protesters who had now arrived, resulting in a noisy clash of chants and slogans from both sides. Analysts and observers took note of this significant shift. The sudden departure of some of Trump's supporters has sparked speculation among political commentators. Some believe it could be a sign of waning enthusiasm, while others suggest it may be a deliberate attempt to communicate with the demonstrators. Despite this, Trump appeared unfazed during his speech, displaying self-assurance in his ability to maintain a devoted following. However, this departure highlights the challenges he faces in mobilizing a unified base. The media's attention has focused on the disparity among attendees, which was highlighted by footage on social media of supporters leaving and interacting with demonstrators after the event. The gathering aimed to reinforce the idea that Trump's support base may be fragmented, and the Springfield incident highlighted the ever-changing nature of the political landscape. Though Trump's core message remains the same, it's unclear whether this deviation is a significant shift or just a sporadic occurrence. As he continues his bid for the presidency, the South Bronx, a diverse community, was not fully represented at the gathering. Many attendees were of African or Hispanic descent and frequently spoke Spanish. Trump has claimed that an increase in migration to New York has negatively impacted job and housing opportunities for African American and Hispanic communities. During a speech, a Republican representative from Florida named Byron Donalds discussed the negative impact that the surge of migrants in New York is having on Black and Hispanic communities. He claimed that job loss, housing instability, and loss of possessions were the most significant adverse effects. However, his speech was interrupted by individuals in the audience who repeatedly yelled, "Build the wall," alluding to Trump's previous efforts to construct a barrier along the US-Mexico border. Trump has been making several visits in the New York area as part of his campaign strategy. He has visited various locations, including a firehouse, construction site, and bodega in Harlem. Donalds, who is also being considered as a potential running mate for Trump, highlighted the president's commitment to defending the interests of all New Yorkers and restoring the nation during his speech. Trump opened his address by discussing his past achievements in the New York community, such as the reconstruction of Woolman Rink in Central Park. During a routine traffic check, an unknown person was caught on camera, and the video was shared on social media site X, previously known as Twitter. In the video, the individual passionately urged Trump to assert his innocence, despite Trump's unclear statement. The supporter expressed unwavering faith in Trump's innocence and said, "Okay, you're innocent. Understood. I remember that, brother." The video garnered over 18,000 views and received significant attention from Trump's ardent supporters, who praised his approachability. The user also expressed concern. The statement, "New York loves Donald Trump," accompanied the video. During his public appearances, the former president was praised for his ability to connect with people, despite concerns about the safety of the exposed windows. While some social media users commended Trump for his accessibility, critics were also vocal in expressing their dissenting opinions. Many pointed out discrepancies in Trump's statements, including his claims of an unfair trial in New York. Others criticized the unwavering loyalty of his supporters, accusing them of being part of a religious faction. With the upcoming November elections, the possibility of a rematch between Trump and Joe Biden looms, though Trump faces several legal issues, including the well-known Stormy Daniels case involving his former fixer Michael Cohen and David Pecker. A payment was made made by the former publisher of the National Enquirer. Khan testified to the agreement with Cohen, stating that they acquired Daniels' account to prevent any harm to Trump's campaign. When asked about the possibility of earning compensation for these funds, Cohen replied that the boss would handle it. Trump has denied all accusations against him and deemed the hush money case a disgrace. Despite his current legal troubles, he still has a strong following of supporters. The outcome of the legal proceedings will impact the narrative of Trump's political future and the state of American democracy. Although he now resides in Florida, Trump spoke nostalgically about his New York roots and relationships at a recent rally. Supporters, dressed in red Make America Great Again gear, waited in line for security. During the screening, a group of people left to see Trump's speech. However, the Bronx Democratic Party staged a protest nearby. The union members displayed signs indicating their disagreement with Trump's appearance. Despite this, a few local supporters showed their support for him. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez made a statement regarding the matter. During a recent event at Katona Park in the Bronx, Margarita Rosario expressed her disapproval of the notion that the Bronx does not support Donald Trump. However, a Bangladeshi expatriate named Mahmoud Lau had a newfound admiration for the president and even referred to him as a patriotic leader. Trump interrupted his speech to check on Lau's well-being and asked if a physician was present. The speech did not resume until medical professionals had attended to Lau. Trump's rally in Katona Park was a departure from his usual predominantly white venues and took place in a diverse neighborhood. While the audience was not representative of the entire South Bronx, Trump positioned himself as a candidate who can appeal to all Americans. The speaker advocated for the preference of African American and Hispanic individuals, while also denouncing the current president's immigration policies. He highlighted the negative impact of the influx of migrants in New York, particularly on the employment, housing, and resources available to the Black and Hispanic communities. The speaker suggested that his people are losing their power over these essential resources. The ongoing events are impacting those who own property the most. During his speech, the ex-president of the United States paid homage to his humble Dutch trading center, which became a renowned cultural hub that inspired the world. Trump reminisced about his involvement in real estate and his contribution to the rehabilitation of Central Park's Woolman Rink. Despite moving to Florida in 2019, he addressed the crowd, claiming that everyone wanted to be there and agreed that the city is in decline. He then made a bold statement, saying that if a New Yorker cannot save the country, no one can. The Bronx Democratic Party organized a protest against Trump's rally in the park, and union members attended, holding signs that read, "The Bronx says no to Trump," in English and Spanish. The Magnet cult members were unimpressed by the information they heard, despite their reputation for being loyal to the former president. This behavior was out of character. During Trump's speech in New Jersey, there were several early departures that were exclusive to the Bronx. This trend of dissatisfaction among his supporters may be more widespread, and similar instances may be observed in other locations. The sight of Trump's supporters leaving early has caused a stir in both political circles and social media. This public expression of dissatisfaction is a major setback for a leader who has relied heavily on the unwavering support of his network of followers. It suggests that Trump's ability to inspire and retain his supporters may be diminishing. Participants reported that the early departures were influenced by dissatisfaction with the content of Trump's address, which is a significant concern. Many individuals have expressed their dissatisfaction with the former president's performance, as evidenced by a video that was uploaded on May 23rd. While some have criticized Trump for using repetitive language, others argue that he has failed to effectively address important issues. Recent events have highlighted the growing divide within the Republican Party, with both early departures and increasing factions seeking a new direction. Despite Trump's continued influence within the party, his supporters leaving his speeches early suggest that his grip may be loosening. The announcement of these departures has been met with harsh criticism on social media, with critics seizing the opportunity to mock what they see as Trump's vulnerability. Meanwhile, many of Trump's most loyal supporters are feeling confused and disappointed, seeing this as a missed opportunity. These early exits from Trump's speeches in New Jersey and the Bronx are a significant setback for the former president, underscoring the challenges he now faces. The fact that Trump struggles to maintain the loyalty and enthusiasm of his supporters is a cause for concern about his future as a political leader. However, the true highlight of the gathering was an unscripted statement that sparked a frenzy of emotions on the internet. During an emotional moment in his speech, Trump gestured animatedly and made a comment about the exceptional fit of his trousers. He then paused, looked down at his legs, and continued gesturing. "You should acknowledge that these jeans are distinct from any other," he sneered, adding, "These pants are are the worst I've ever worn." The crowd reacted with a mixture of laughter and applause, clearly amused by the unexpected diversion. The remark quickly gained popularity on social media, with Twitter users creating jokes and memes. Some people speculated about the deeper significance of Trump's focus on his trousers, while others simply enjoyed the absurdity of the moment. During a recent event focused on critical topics such as the economy, healthcare, and immigration, President Trump made a statement that quickly garnered attention. While experts and commentators shared their opinions on the event as a whole, the media chose to focus on Trump's statement about trousers. Some political observers speculated that this was a deliberate diversion tactic by Trump, who has a history of using humor and unexpected remarks to manipulate the narrative. Others saw the statement as a revealing moment that shed light on Trump's character. Regardless of interpretation, the incident highlights the power of social media to disseminate even the smallest remark to a wide audience. Within minutes of the protest going viral and spreading to millions of people across the globe, the jokes and memes began to proliferate. Soon, even influential people and celebrities joined in on the fun, adding their voices to the growing chorus. One particularly famous meme featured an image of Donald Trump wearing pants that were clearly too big for him, with a caption that read, "When you forget you're not at a fashion show." Another advertisement showed Trump sporting a range of outrageous pants, from polka dots to fluorescent hues, with the tagline, "Trump's new campaign strategy, pant power." Despite the humorous nature of these memes, some onlookers expressed concern that they were distracting from more serious issues. While it's easy to get caught up in the fun of these viral moments, we mustn't forget the critical topics that were supposed to be addressed at the rally, such as healthcare and immigration, which affect millions of Americans. As one political commentator noted, "We can't let a pants joke overshadow these important discussions." After the dust had settled, the Trump team seized on the viral event by creating merchandise featuring the infamous pants. They even went so far as to claim that these were the best pants ever. The former president's photo was used as a clever tactic to turn an otherwise awkward situation into an opportunity for financial gain. Despite the passionate speeches and policy proposals delivered at the Bronx event, it was a simple comment about pants that ended up being the most memorable. This highlights the unpredictable nature of live events and how quickly the internet can turn insignificant moments into global sensations. Whether intentional or not, Trump's pants remark has become one of the most widely shared political moments in history. In today's media landscape, it seems that all it takes to capture global attention is a simple genetic makeup. According to Fox News, 25,000 supporters flocked to a park to show their support for Trump's efforts to gain ground in a predominantly Democratic region. However, the Associated Press countered this claim by emphasizing the unlikelihood of such numbers appearing in a county with such a high percentage of Democratic voters. During his coverage of the event, Jim Dolan of ABC7 New York provided a reality check by pointing out inconsistencies between the campaign's claims and the actual number of attendees. Dolan also mentioned that the Trump campaign controlled who was allowed into the venue, which prevented any significant support from the local community. Despite this, Trump can now claim to have held a rally in the South Bronx, a neighborhood that was previously out of his reach. Although many minorities and immigrants reside in the area, there is some ambiguity regarding the attendees of the event. C. Cool Dolan claimed that the campaign had complete authority over who was allowed entry, and only supporters were selected. Additionally, it seems that a considerable portion of the participants came from out of state, evidenced by the license plates of their cars, which were registered in Tennessee, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Texas. During a recent rally in the Bronx, a second person accused President Trump of lying and using his supporters for financial gain. Congressman Richie Torres, who was in attendance, didn't hold back his opinion. Pictures taken from above by ABC7 showed a crowd much smaller than the 255,000 people claimed by the Trump campaign. This led to online ridicule, with social media users posting parodies and images that comically undermined the campaign's narrative. Although not all of the photos were taken at the Bronx rally, they served as a lighthearted response to the campaign's exaggerated figures. This incident is just the latest in a series of scandals surrounding Trump's public appearances and statements, which highlight the perpetual gap between the skepticism of the general public and the perceptions of his followers. In this digital age, fraudulent information can easily be disproven, and this was evident during the dismantling of baseless claims. The impact of this extends beyond social media. The recent event highlighted the challenges President Trump faces in gaining support beyond his core base, especially in regions and demographics that have been historically unfriendly to him. With the impending criminal prosecution for hush money and other legal issues, there is a possibility possibility that the reality may not match the promises made during his campaign, which could have significant implications for his political future. The rally in the South Bronx was intended to demonstrate Trump's widespread appeal, but instead, it served as a reminder of the difficulties he faces in convincing a larger audience of his legitimacy and popularity. This event highlights the complex nature of American politics, where voter concerns and demographics are constantly evolving, and the unexpected can happen, as evidenced by the surprising turnout in one of the most democratic regions of the country. It remains unclear whether Trump's attempts will yield any wins in elections, but the recent voter turnout in a predominantly Democratic area provides a clear example. Additionally, the trial regarding hush money in Manhattan has been postponed until after Memorial Day weekend. The New York Times reported that the former president will be leaving Trump Tower due to his upcoming event in the Bronx. The event, which has a capacity of 3,500 individuals, has caused some residents to express their dissatisfaction with the idea of Trump invading the Bronx and occupying the park. Jeffrey Mays, a writer for The Times, noted that there is a significant number of Bronx residents who are not enthusiastic about the event. Noel Rivera, a retired subway track worker, was quoted by The Times as saying, "I wish he would just disappear." The newspaper also mentioned that this is Trump's first rally in New York since 2016. On the day of the event, Maggie Rodriguez, an electrician who was walking in the park, expressed her concern about the impact of a Trump victory on democracy. She cringed at the sight of the Trump team setting up for the rally and said, "We will no longer have a democracy if Trump were to win the election in November." RZ was similarly incensed by the event. As people get ready for the polygraph test, MazPR reports that Richie Torres, a New York Democrat who represents the district, believes that the ex-president should attend and apologize for his deeds. Torres explains that the ex-president is so disliked in the Bronx that he is toxic, with approval ratings linked to lead and arsenic levels. Thank you for tuning in.